Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Monday, January 6th. It is 6:24 right now. We got market opening up in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few minutes to finish updating everything here. And we should be good to go. It's good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, let me send out. We are good to go. All right, as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up the liquidity price points right now. Good. Grab this area over here. Down to the 2 hour. Down to the 1 hour. 30 minute. 15 minute. 10 minute. And 1 minute here. All right, so looks like we're good to go. Closest level of liquidity above is at 43,271. Closest level of liquidity below is at 43,093. Looking at the liquidity over here. A lot of zones kind of sitting on both, mainly on the bottom end right here, but also on the top. And I guess we'll see what happens here when the market opens up. Direction for the breakout right now is currently a buy. We'll see if this ends up confirming as we get closer to market open. Hey, Daniel, morning. So guys, good news. I've finished up the liquidity indicator here. So probably by today or by tomorrow, if you do have access to the indicators, you will have access to the liquidity indicator right here. Finish up the final touches on it. It looks pretty good now, with everything set up. In the future, probably by next week, I'll create a video on it, but it will be ready for you guys shortly. So we got the breakout coming up shortly, guys. I'll know the direction in about a minute. It's looking like it's going to be a buy for today. It's good, guys. So you got liquidity sitting in both directions. Some targets up here, some targets down here. We got the sessions down below over here. We got market opening up in about a minute now. So direction for the breakout looks like it's likely going to be a buy for today. I believe there was news this morning. There's more news at 6:45 and at 7. News at 6:45 and 7 o'clock. All right, guys, so direction for the breakout today is going to be a buy. If this candle ends up being too big here prior to open, then I'm not going to take it, or I'll flip it. Most likely just not take it. The direction for the breakout today is going to be a buy, it looks like. So you have market opening up in about 30 seconds. We've got 20 seconds till market open. We've got market opening up in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is open.
Order submit.
So a bit of a spiky price movement here on open. Let's see if I can get these parameters up properly. So it is at 73. So we got price kind of going back and forth right now. It's not really moving too smoothly. It's kind of like a spiky market, just like we've had for the past couple of days lately. I mean, it's still New Year's. It's this second week of trading, so the new year. So it's still a little choppy right here on open. See what happens here. Price is now pushing up. Let me get rid of that 30, that 50 mark is actually. So the 50 mark is going to be right here. When price reaches the 50 mark, my stop loss moves in profit. But I'll be aiming for the 100 here. So not too much direction. And price is kind of just sitting right there. Opening price. Yeah, there's not much direction here at all. For the breakout. I'm still using the trailing stop as of now, guys, because obviously the market here still isn't moving very consistent. Again, Trump gets inaugurated on January 20th. So once he gets inaugurated, we're probably gonna get a lot more direction in the market. But as of now, you can see it's a bit choppy. There's not really much here, so we'll keep watching that there. Other than that, the scalp entries, there's no entries here right now at the moment. I'm not going to go against the breakout. So the trend right now is currently bearish on the main chart, but I'm not going to look for any sells here, at least not yet. See here, price pushes all the way back up. So ideally here, I'd like price to push up, climb up higher, and reach the target. So the first target here would be the liquidity price right there at 43,271. We got a liquidity zone up here that price is trying to reach up to, but you can see price is having trouble really kind of pushing up. It's kind of just staying down here, down below right now. Opening price is going to be right there. I marked this up as opening price. You can see a little better. You got opening price right here. Price is not really doing too much. It's kind of a weird candle. See that candle? It was red, but it pushed up. That was a weird candle. Yeah, Daniel said extra choppy since Fed is speaking right now. Yeah, is the Fed still speaking? Yeah, we have Fed Cook speaking right here, 6:15. So it looks like that's what's causing a lot of the choppiness here. So price is pretty much just sitting right here at opening price. You can see the blue line, that's opening price. Price is currently pushing up now. I think if we get up to this area right here, it's going to have that liquidity get knocked out. It's going to pretty much grab liquidity. It's going to push up even higher. So we really just want price to push past this area here. If price can push past it, I think it's going to be ideal. I'll grab liquidity, and then we're going to try to reach for this upper this upper level over here, of course. But you can see here that price is, I mean, it's literally just sitting at opening price right now. Just going back and forth, back and forth. Okay, right. The Fed is speaking right now. They just started speaking at 6:15, so it's like middle of their announcements. Yeah, we're probably not gonna get any direction here right now, guys. I mean, there is no direction, and price just keeps going back and forth. $6:35, about 5 minutes into the market. Choppiness right now is pretty bad. All right, let's see. Let's go over to the clean chart real quick. Yeah, you guys can see over here. So I'm gonna mark up some zones here where price is kind of just currently bouncing. Thanks, Dan, for the heads up. I didn't realize they were still speaking.
Order fill.
All right, got stopped out on that trade. That's all good. So we got stopped out on the breakout. You guys can see there's like no direction right now. Market open, and then price literally is just going right between this area. I'll look for some scalps now. I knew the Fed was speaking, but I thought he'd be done by now. Start at 6:15. He probably started late, so he probably just started talking on open. But you guys can see here from the price movement, there's like literally no direction. I'll try to look for some scalps here, but it's going to be tough looking for trades in this specific area because we do have the sessions down below. The target that I was looking for was price to reach at least around this area right here so that I can kind of grab that liquidity and then push up higher, but never got to that point. You can see got really close, but never exactly got to that point there, which is all good. I mean, it's just part of the game, right? So we lost that trade right there for the breakout, small little loss. Yeah, there was no ability. I wasn't going to be able to move my stop loss up. I mean, technically I could have moved it up to 10 points, but I was going for that 50 points right there and didn't reach that point. So it's all good. Loss over here for the breakout, and then we will continue looking for some scalps here as we push through with this week so far. So let me go over here real quick and I will update. So small loss right there for the breakout. We've been on a winning streak for the breakout though. So if you guys have been following, we've had 2 back-to-back days of win streaks for the breakout. So I think, it's about time that one got shaken out right there. Be looking for some scalps here though now. And you can see price, basically what price did is it came down right here, bounced directly off the sessions, and it pushed right back up. It's just typical market manipulation right now. You can see there's no direction of price. Price is still going back and forth, waiting for some sort of direction here. There's no sells for us to take here right now for the scalps because we currently have a sell signal. We need to have a pending sell signal. So we need to get a buy signal push up first, confirm the retracement, and then we'll look for the continuation back down further. Looking at this right now, it's going to be tough to take some trades around this middle area. So if you look over here down below, we have a sessions right here. We have an Asia high. We have another sessions right here, New York high. Then we have another sessions right here, London high. So, and another one down here, Asia low. So it's going to be really tough to take some sell entries right here. It's going to have to happen like right down this middle point, which is going to be a pretty tight area. We also have news coming up right here at 6:45. So I'm going to have to wait for that to pass. Let me see what the range is between these 2 sessions. It's a decent amount of range, 81 points. It's not huge, but I mean, you could probably price squeeze one trade in there. So it looks like price is probably going to consolidate between the opening price and the Asia high right here. It's looking the same here on the clean chart as well. I'll just leave that as is right now. I'll come back and make some adjustments once, we actually have some direction here, but for the most part, this might be a fake out, might pull right back into the range. There's nothing here right now. Price currently sitting at the Asia high, purple line. Let's see, Sam said, anyone looking to buy? I'm going to look for some buys once price pushes above here, Sam. So once price pushes back up here, we'll have this area of liquidity. So I'll be looking for some buys around that point. I mean, ideally, I wanted to buy. Our breakout was for a buy today. It looked like price was going to push up. So like right here, price was pushing up, came down, and then it came right back up. Ideally, I would want price to push down at least 100 points. Because the thing is, if price pushes right back from where it is, it's going to signify that there's no direction to market, specifically for the breakout. Because if that's the case and price does push back up from where it currently is right now, it's going to show that price would have, like the trade would have lost either direction for a buy or a sell. Because if you look over here for the breakout, if you took the sell here, I think it still wouldn't have hit, well, it would have hit 50 points. But the 100 still wouldn't have gotten hit yet. So we'll follow it. But I mean, ideally, a buy is what I wanted. Looks like price kind of just faked out down here and shot right back up. It got close to the 100 right here. Not close enough, though. I also thought it was going to be a buy as well because of this right here. See this big push down to the downside, that big gap? So you have a gap right here. And I was expecting price to fill that gap, right? So the analysis here for the buy overall was it would have lined up perfect. Like everything here just kind of lined up perfect. We have a possible momentum reversal coming up right here, guys. If this candle closes as an inside bar, we may have a possible setup for momentum reversal to the downside. I can't take this trade though. There's not enough space. I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it. It's currently at red flag. So you guys can see right here, my TP would have to reach the sessions right here, which doesn't meet my criteria. So I'm not taking the trade here. This is setting up for a momentum reversal. I mean, if you want to go for a smaller TP stop loss, have your trailing stop at the 10 and then possibly a 1-to-1. I think this could work, but I'm going for a 1-to-2 here. And it's just not going to work. It wouldn't work out because we have the red flags down here, sessions. It's just going to mess up my whole position. So there's a possible entry right here for momentum reversal, guys. Your pending stop would be right here at the, or your pending sell limit would happen right here at the 139 price point. So it hasn't filled yet. If this trade doesn't fill on this candle, you're supposed to cancel it, guys. So just keep that in mind. If this candle here doesn't push down and fill the entry, cancel your order. If you are looking to take it, this is a whole bunch area of red flags. So I mean, for me personally, I don't think I would have taken the trade here to begin with. Opening prices right there. We have news coming up in about 2 minutes. And then we have the sessions down below here as well. So it looks like price is probably not going to come down and fill it. So just be ready to cancel your order in about 15 seconds. Again, guys, remember, this is a pending order for that specific trade. And there's no fill there, so cancel your order, guys. All right, there may be another possible inside candle, or actually, no, I take that back. It already pushed below it. So no setup there. Again, like I said, this is just a tricky market today. It's Monday, so kind of expected. Of course, we don't want a sideways market, but this was kind of expected. Usually Mondays and Fridays are usually the more tricky days, but you can see over here, prices pretty much just consolidate. Well, not really consolidating, but it's ranging between the opening price and the sessions down below. See how there's no direction of price? It's literally just going sideways. You can see it better here on the clean chart. So looking at the clean chart here, you can see that price has not gone anywhere in like since market open. Pretty much just gone sideways. So this is why it sucks for the breakout sometimes, right? Because for the breakout, we need to have a direction push to the upside or a direction push to the downside. When you have a direction push to the side, this is not good for the breakout because it can stop you out in either direction. Whether you take a buy or a sell, it can stop you out. Looking at the breakout for today, it still has not hit full TP in either direction. So this isn't a good sign. It's not a good sign for market because you want price to actually push on open, right? Whenever market opens, especially on a Monday, you want price to push up or you want it to push down. It doesn't matter which direction price pushes, but it needs to push up to this area or needs to push down to this area. Whether it's TP or stop loss, that's fine because you can balance your position, right? Some trades you're going to win, some trades you're going to lose. For this specific entry today, you can see here that you can get wiped out in either direction, whether you take a buy or whether you take a sell. It's easy to get stopped out in either direction. We're 45 minutes, or not 45, we're 15 minutes into market open, but it's 6:45 right now. And you can see there's still no directional push of price. So nobody's in control right now. The buyers and the sellers are both fighting for control. Ideally, I would expect price to push up, of course, but looking at this here, it's trying to push up. So earlier we were in this position. I said we got a liquidity zone sitting right here, right? So the target price point really for price to grab liquidity is going to be this area right here. If it grabs liquidity, it's going to push up to this next area, and this is going to be the liquidity price. So this is the liquidity target. This is the liquidity sitting in between here. It's going to fill the gap, right? We had a big gap right here. And this is where I was aiming for price to go earlier with our breakout. Price is now pushing into the liquidity. Once we get to like, say, this middle area right here, then I would expect it to climb up higher to this target. But you can see how price is moving here. It's very tricky. It's just going back and forth. There was news right here at 6:45, sorry. They marked it up as news price. Clean this up. Let's check the news for there. The news was actually negative. So news was negative, but price is still climbing up. So it's not moving in the direction of news. It's doing the opposite. So S&P Global Services PMI, this is inflation news. It was forecasted to be 56, or it was 56.1 last month. It was forecasted to be 58.5 positive, but it was actually negative, 56.8. So with that said, the news there was negative, but price is still slightly climbing. If you are taking some buys here, you want to be careful because the news may have a late reaction. So the news here was negative. Price obviously is pushing up still, but there may be a late reaction where price may come up, try to trap some buyers, and then come down very sharply. Right, that's something that you want to be careful for. Just pay attention to the price action, because obviously right now there is no price action. Yeah, there's just no price action right now. As you guys can see, price is going back and forth. It's more of a sideways market. You can see right here, it's at the upper range right now. But look for the fake out. Look how price fake out below here, and it pulled back into the range. Same thing happening right here, right? Price broke out of the range right here. Look for a possible fake out and a pull back into the range. We're in a completely sideways market right now. You can see from these zones that I drew up. Let's see if there's any other zones here on the SR chart. Some of you guys like to use the SR chart instead. Not really clean, it's pretty messy. There goes the SR chart, price is pulling right back into the range. Here's the clean chart, price is pulling back into the range just like I mentioned. It's not a good time to trade right now, guys. Just be patient, wait for the setup to come to you. Right now, the setup's just not there. Let me see where the 1 hour liquidity is. Okay, so the 1 hour liquidity is right here. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. during the live session. It's kind of cool how you can, like, if you guys will have this indicator probably by today, but for the liquidity indicator right here, you can kind of set it to the specific time frame. So if you want to see where liquidity is sitting on the specific time frame you're on, I have it set here to a couple different time frames, like 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, and of course the 1 minute here. All right, so price is finally pushing into that zone that we were aiming for earlier. So like I said, if it reaches past this middle point, it's probably going to push up to the target, which is going to be up here at the 43,271. So unfortunately, this was our breakout from this morning, right? Our breakout would have hit the 50 points. It looks like we just got caught in that little shakeout right there earlier, which is fine. It happens sometimes. But yeah, this is basically what happened with our trade earlier. It looks like if you would have taken the trade in either direction, you would have lost. So today's breakout, I mean, it is what it is. That's just when it's a fair loss. Well, not a fair loss, but it was bad market conditions, bad market price action. But you can see over here, because we took the buy earlier, right? So we took the buy here, see how we got stopped out? Price stopped us out, and then it pushed right back to where it needed to go. And then looking over here at the sell, see how price came straight to the near the TP, and then it would have stopped out right here after. So for today's just a toss-up. For the breakout entry today, it's a toss-up. It doesn't matter if we took a buy or a sell. Trade would have lost either way. This is why I've been using the trailing stop, because the trailing stop's been able to pull me out at least 50 points. We're going to keep using the trailing stop until the market here is moving directional. Obviously, you can see right now it's not moving directional. It's at least for the breakout, it's been doing this for the past like 2 or 3 months now. We've been getting a lot of this choppy back and forth movement. And it just sucks because either way, you're going to get stopped out. So it's all good. We're going to keep looking for some scalps here. So now that we got price pushed up a little bit, I mean, it's not confirmed that price is done. It's going to continue climbing. But if we do continue to climb here, I'm going to look for some possible opportunities for V1 variation and for momentum reversal. So I mean, just got to wait for this here to come up. But nothing has come up here yet. So in order for me to take a V1 variation, guys, what I'm going to look for is I'm looking for price to come down, bounce off the liquidity, and then come right back up. Let's see, at 7 o'clock, we have news, which is medium impact factory order. So I'll be looking for that right there. Probably not going to mark it up as like a pink zone, but I will look at to see what the news is here. For the factory orders, it's forecasted to be negative. So we had negative news earlier here at 6:45. The next news at 7 o'clock. Factory orders month over month is forecasted to be negative as well. So it was 0.2% last month. This month is forecasted to be 0.3 negative. I mean, we'll see that'll probably affect the market slightly because the news earlier still hasn't dropped from 6:45, and then we have more news over here at 7 o'clock, which is also forecasted to be negative, of course. So we'll be looking for some this retracement, but for the most part, we just need to get a retracement. The trend here is starting to shift to the upside, so we're getting a bullish shift to the trend right here. What I need to see next is I need price to retrace back down and then bounce off here. That's where I'm going to look for the V1 variation. So I'm looking for a sell signal, come down right here and give me that double body, double wick projection off the structure and then push back up higher. Price is currently grabbing liquidity here. So like I said earlier, once it reaches this middle zone, which it finally did, it's going to go for this target here, right? So the target's almost reached. See how price is climbing up right there? I mean, this would have been the ideal movement. See how price here came directly from this lower push? I was hoping this was going to be the case for the breakout. So for the breakout this morning, this is the movement that I was expecting. There's just a lot of confluences for a bullish push, right? We had the big gap right here. Liquidity was sitting around this area. We had the buy signal. The only thing that we didn't have for today was the trend. The trend was bearish on open. So trend was bearish on open. We took the buy. I mean, I thought price was going to just blast through it and then come up at least to here, but it did happen just a little later. So price came up, retraced, came right back up from there. Hey, what's up, Nick? Nick said caught liquidity on NQ. Definitely a sketchy day though. NQ is ranging as well. Never mind, it's pushing up. Yeah, it's ideally the direction was bullish, but here we go now as it starts to. You can see the buyers here are starting to lose power. So price is pushing up. We're getting a bunch of wicks up here, and price is attempting to swing back down, which is fine because we need that retracement anyways. So I need that retracement before I can start looking for opportunity for entry here. All right, so I'm gonna turn off my hedge laptop right now because I'm done with this.
Recording stopped.
There. And I'm going to. All right, I'm gonna turn off my hedge laptop because I'm done trading on that one. I'm gonna focus on the Scout laptop. I just need to get that retracement up. So I'm changing laptops right now. So I can have my main focus here. There we go. As price reaches the target. So as you guys remember earlier, I said once price reaches the halfway mark, the target price point is going to be the liquidity price right there, which is at 43,271. It's almost there. It's not there yet, but it's almost there. It's off by like a few points. I do need to look for the retracement though, so I can't take any entries until I get the retracement, which, of course is fine. Same. The trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what the movement is for. I think I can still do 30 because I'm curious if I should adjust my TP my trailing stop to 10 points for today because the market is obviously going sideways. Or if I should keep it at 30. I think I'm gonna keep it at 30 for now. And then we'll obviously I'll just make adjustments along the way, but right now I'm just gonna keep it at 30. I'm gonna mark up some more zones here. Some price structure. So we have price structure right there, price structure there. So you can see here that price finally filled a gap. This is what I was hoping for during the breakout. Looking for the gap right here. So market open right here at 630. I was like, okay, price is gonna push it from here and push through the gap, right? It did that, but it did it a little later. So price came up right here, faked out, and then it finally pushed through the gap. And then price is now pulling back into the gap. Let's see. Okay, we have the pending sell signal here. Okay, this is fine. There's only one problem here. So the thing with this, the only issue with what we are currently looking at right now is the fact that we have news right here at 7 o'clock. So I am looking for that sell signal to retrace back, but I'm hoping we don't get any entries right here specifically. Because I want the news here to pass first. Once the news passes here at 7 o'clock, I feel more comfortable taking an entry. I know it's medium impact news, but it's still going to affect the market because we do have negative news here at 6:45. We did not have a market reaction to it. So that might still happen. And then if this is negative as well, I mean, that might also react to it too. So it's just kind of you're kind of playing with fire if you're trading around news. Most of you guys understand that. You get some random volatility. Oh, I just realized I'm on the wrong chart. Good thing I checked that before. I was on an MQ chart for some reason on my Ninja account. I was wondering why the candles look different. All right, so still no sell signal here. Again, the target still hasn't filled right here yet either. So we had price push up. I mentioned when price reaches the gap over here, which was, so we had liquidity that was sitting right here. So when price reaches this middle point, the first target that price is going to aim for is going to be this liquidity price point. Still hasn't hit it. It's almost there. We do have news right here in about a minute, about 10 seconds actually, and we'll see how price reacts to it. News is forecasted to be negative for factory orders month over month. So we got price right there. The news was negative. It was actually worse than expected. It was forecasted to be 0.3 negative. It was actually negative 0.4. So just be careful if you guys are looking for entries here, because there hasn't been a bearish reaction to both of the news events. News event right here at 6:45 was negative. Price pushed up super heavily the opposite way. And then again, right here, this news event was also negative and price still pushed up the opposite way. This is why I never follow news. If you guys see news here, I usually trade the opposite of news. So back in the past, when I would trade news, if it was negative, I would buy. If it was positive, I would sell. And you can see here that this is a prime example of like when you would do that. It was a tricky way to trade, but that's just usually how I would trade it. Because they just, if you're talking about it just doesn't make sense for price to push up like that. Both of the news events here were both negative, and price is still climbing up. You can see that price hit the target. There goes the first target that we talked about earlier. The price did hit the target right there. These candles are really weird today. Have you noticed that? So, like it happened earlier over here, price was coming down, it was red, and then all of a sudden, like in one split second, it flips up green. If you guys just follow the candles, it just happened on the same candle right here as well. It was coming down and it was red, and then all of a sudden it flipped green. I don't know what's up with the price today. The price is just very choppy. Like it's choppy where it flips within like a split second. It'll come down and it'll flip up like in 1 second. Like it'll be red, and then it'll be all the way up here green, and then it'll be back to red, and it'll be all the way back up to green. Like price is moving so fast that the candles can't keep up with it, which is interesting. I've actually never seen that happen before trading, or I just never noticed it. It probably happened a lot during COVID, but not during like regular markets. So see how this is moving here? There's no like one direction. Price will push up, then it'll push down, then it'll push up, then it'll push down. Like every other second, it's flipping. I mean, it wouldn't really matter to me right now because I'm not looking for any entries, but I'm just kind of curious to see if that's going to affect our entry once we get closer to our setup. So the two setups that I'm looking for again, guys, I'm looking for a V1 variation, but I need that V1 variation to bounce off structure. So I'm going to be looking for price to come down a little bit. Bounce off structure. If I get a V1 variation somewhere down there, perfect. I'll look for the buy. Or I'll be looking for a momentum reversal. So I'll be looking for price to retrace and then provide reversal midway. It's basically going to be like a W pattern. All right, so that liquidity is done. That liquidity is done too. If you guys have been taking liquidity today, liquidity's been getting hit. So liquidity's been pretty nice for the day. It looks like we're starting to get some direction, which is a good sign. So we're starting to get some direction here. It looks like the 100 points would have hit already. Yeah, so our entry for today, guys, this was our breakout entry. Unfortunately, we got stopped in the fake out right here. So price came up and profit a little bit, came down and stopped us out. And then it came all the way back up to our TP. So, I mean, it's all good. It is what it is. Let me just update the markup so that I can put some notes there. But yeah, this is what I've been talking about for the past couple months now. We just don't really have that open direction which you used to have. So yeah, 50 points first, stop loss, and straight to full TP. After. All right, I just put some notes there so that we understand how the market actually moved for today. Um, yeah, a lot of choppiness here on open. You can see here on open, very choppy market, and then finally it shot up. This is what I was expecting on open. So for the breakout, this is what I wanted to happen. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. We had some choppiness, and then price did eventually push up. But the analysis was fine. So, I'm just going to eat that loss and I'm going to move on with it. I just want to make sure that the analysis was proper because there were so many confluences for a buy, and the analysis there did line up. So it's just one of those days you get caught in the fake outs, and price ends up going in your direction right after. So I'll be looking for some scalps here. 7:05 right now. We still got some time. We got a lot of time actually. We have about an hour till 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna look for a retracement at some point. And for that retracement, I'm looking for a sell signal. So I'm looking for a sell signal here to retrace down. There's going to be two different entries that I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for a V1 variation for price to come down and give me a double body, double wick rejection right here. The other entry that I'm looking for is I'm looking for that retracement, but I'm looking for a momentum reversal. It doesn't have to be off structure. It's just any type of retracement, inside candle, then push back up. But for my V1s, I for sure am going to be looking for rejection off liquidity. So I'll have this indicator up ready for you guys later today, guys. Hopefully, if not today, tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get it up for you guys today, so that you guys can use this. The cool thing with this tool is you can set the liquidity to any time frame. So if you're looking to see what the liquidity is or like where these zones are on the 1 hour, you can set it to 1 hour. So this is what it looks like on the 1 minute, of course. But if you want to change it in the settings, you can change it to your time frame. Like if you're trading on the 1 minute, but you're curious to see what the liquidity is on the 5 minute, you can change it to the 5 minute. If you want to change it to the 1 hour or the 2 hour, you can change it to that. Right? It's a pretty cool tool. I think it's like very, very useful. It's useful for a lot of things. You can use it for like liquidity grabs. You can use it for where you think price is likely to bounce from. Usually these liquidities are where people typically, like this is where you get a bullish push from, like where gaps are pretty much identified. So you'll have liquidity targets by marking up the higher highs and the lower lows. Like for example, this is a liquidity target, but then you'll have these liquidity zones where the buying happens, right? So you can see your price kind of gaps up, and that's where the buying happens. Price gaps up right here. It's where the buying happens. Typically, wherever price pushes away from, it comes back to where the buying happened from, right? It'll have two scenarios. Price will either bounce off it or it'll push through it. So I mean, if you want to do an arbitrage trade, you can have two trades set up. You can have one where it's set up for a buy, where it bounces up, and if it flips through, you can have it set to take the sell at you basically flip the trade. So if your trade fails, you just flip the trade the other way, basically. I'll probably come up with a strategy to use that at some point in the future. Arbitrage trading is a little difficult though. You have to like, I don't know if you could do it with certain platforms, because I used to do it on I used to do it on Thinkorswim. You can have where it automatically flips. So like in the past before, you can have like a structure, and then if price passes a certain way, you can have a buy where price catches the bounce. But if price flips the other way down here, it would just flip it to a sell. So you take the buy here, pushes up, hits stop loss, flips, and then you just ride it the other way. The trade will always be like a 1 to 2. So like a lot of times you would lose a trade, but then you would make it back and profit on top of it. It's kind of an interesting way. I have to find a way to automate that though. Somehow. All right, so we're back into consolidation here. So you can see price is now going sideways. 7 o'clock, so it's kind of expected. I'm hoping we can get a scalp here, but if we don't get any movement and no direction, then I'm not going to force any trades. Today's Monday, guys. We have a whole week ahead of us, so there's no need to force any trades here. I'm only going to take a trade if it comes up and if it meets my criteria. but it looks like the market here is starting to kind of die out a little bit. The CJ said caught the daily liquidity at 43,271. Didn't realize it was a news candle though. Yeah, there was two news events today. It was at 6:45 and at 7. So it was a little tough. We got price still climbing here. So ideally, I don't want price to keep climbing, but we will continue to see if this here will keep pushing. I need to get that retracement though. So I'm looking for the retracement. Once I get the retracement, I'll look for possible opportunities for entry. I don't like how price here is consolidating though. See how price is going sideways right here? I don't trade sideways market structure. So if price continues to go sideways right here, I'm probably going to skip out on a trade if it comes up. Like ideally, I would want price to there's two things that I would be looking for here. I want price to either come down super hard and then come back up. So you see this right here, this is head and shoulders, right? Like I didn't even plan to draw head and shoulders, but this is head and shoulders. This is the pattern that I'm looking for. I want price to break out of this area, fake out, and then come back up. This is an inverted head and shoulders right here. You got a shoulder, a head, a shoulder. Ideally, that's kind of what I would want to see. You know, in the opposite direction, that can happen too. An actual head and shoulders this way. So the thing that I've started to notice over time is that I think I trade head and shoulders almost every time. Like I don't plan on trading head and shoulders, but the patterns that we typically look for are head and shoulders. If you guys have been trading with me we've been trading live for a long time. I started to notice this pattern back when we were trading forex. So back when we were trading forex, I was trying to look for head and shoulders, but whenever I looked for it, it would never come up. Now that I don't really look for head and shoulders, it looks like almost every time we look at price action, that's kind of what we're looking for. Because I'm looking for the fake out and I'm looking for the continuation. So I'm looking for, obviously that's the downside, like an M pattern, W pattern, head and shoulders pattern, one of those. And then vice versa, the other way. I'm looking for price to retrace down, come back up. So basically there's like three main patterns that I typically look for when I trade. I look for a head and shoulders. That's like the best case scenario. The second case scenario is like a W pattern. So I look for price to come down, retrace, come back down, and then shoot right back up. Or in the opposite direction, I look for a possible M pattern. So I don't really trade, well, I wouldn't consider myself a price action trader. I'm more of a trend trader with momentum, but my entries are based off price action. So like the V1 variation, right? The V1 variation is the obvious price action pattern. It's a double body, double wick rejection. Same with the momentum reversal. I'm looking for an inside bar in the direction of trend. So my entries are based off price action, but my setups are usually in direction of trend or momentum. So just something to keep in mind. Let's see, Max said, hopefully today's market conditions don't set the tone for the rest of the week. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Max. I hope the market doesn't stay like this because this is not my type of market. Like that, the opening movement, that threw me off, honestly. Like I wasn't expecting the market to be super, super slow like that on open. So for the breakout today, you guys saw market open right here, and this thing went sideways for like a good 10, 20 minutes until it finally pushed up to where it was supposed to go. So we'll see. Let's check the calendar real quick for the news this week. So we got Joel's job openings tomorrow, ISM services PMI, we got inflation news. On Wednesday, we have ADP employment change, initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, 4-week average. We have FOMC minutes on Wednesday. Thursday, we have wholesale inventories. Fed Harper is going to speak at 6 a.m. So Thursday is going to be a Fed day. We have a bunch of Fed speakers on that day. And then on Friday, we have Boy, this is NFP week. Okay. I didn't realize this was NFP week. Okay, so with it being NFP week, yeah, we should have expected the market to be kind of crazy today, or not crazy today, but in general this whole week. I thought last week was NFP, but I just realized we didn't have NFP last Friday. It was New Year's. All right, so that changes things. Yeah, so the thing with NFP week is if you guys have traded NFP in the past, which I'm sure everybody here has, NFP happens the first week of every month. NFP week is either really good or it's really bad. It's going to be one or the other. Looking at today's movement in price, I think this week's going to be pretty volatile. So we can expect that. This year's flat though, so we'll have to see. All right, we have the sell signal here that's coming down. I'll be looking for a possible V1 variation. So I need the sell signal here to close. Once it closes, I'll be looking for possible opportunity for entry. Again, it did not close right there because we just don't have very much volatility, not much direction. But again, once the sell signal closes, I'll be looking for possible opportunity for a scalp here. I don't like how price here is going sideways. So it's going to be a little tricky here to look for some entries. So ideally, what I would like to see here is I'd like to see the sell signal close and then possibly a V1 variation right here. Double body, double wick rejection off the structure, and then a possible continuation back to the upside. Like best case scenario, that's kind of what I'm looking for, right? Got 10 seconds left on this candle. I don't even know if it'll close with the sell signal. But we do need that sell signal. Sell signal doesn't close, kind of screws up the whole setup. All right, so no sell signal there. There's not going to be a V1 variation, unfortunately. You can see there's a lot of uncertainty with regard to price movement here. You guys can see the liquidity here kind of bunching up a little bit. We got an upper level liquidity right there, lower level liquidity right here. We have another one kind of setting up in the middle. You can see the consolidation here, super obvious. So there hasn't been a breakout V3 today yet. It's one thing that I noticed here. All right, so price is bouncing off liquidity zone. There is a sell signal right there. There's no V1 variation though. So I need to have a double body or a double wick rejection right here. Or I'd be looking for a possible market flow V2. Or sorry, not a market flow V2. I'm not even looking for that this time. Here are my trading. I'll put up my trading plan for this year. So the main strategies I'm looking for, again, if you guys are not familiar with it, I'm looking for a V1 variation or a momentum reversal. If you guys want to learn these strategies, they're all available on the course. So if you guys sign up to the course, there's a video for every single module here now. So if you guys want to understand those two strategies that I just mentioned, go down over here to directional strategies. V1 variations can be module 5.3 and momentum reversals can be module 5.8. There's video explanations for both of those strategies there. Those are going to be the two main strategies that I'll be looking to apply. If these entries don't come up, then there's just no entry for me. I'm going to be patient and waiting for my entries here. These are my main strategies. There's going to be a V2 variation, V3 variation, but those two rarely come up. They only come up like maybe once, probably maybe like once a week. So if they do come up, I will show you guys an example, but I just don't see any examples here of those specific entries. So not really expecting anything here for that. My contract sizes for the scalps are 10 contracts. Contract size for the breakouts is 6 contracts. TP stop loss for my scalps are going to be 60-30, 60 point TP, 30 point stop loss. My with the trailing stop, my TP stop loss for the breakout is 100 TP, 50 stop loss. Limit loss for the day is going to be 1. Profit goal is 1 or 2 wins, and my trading window, of course, is until 8 o'clock. So stick to the game plan, guys. You're gonna see me stick to this pretty much all year long. If the entries don't come up, it's fine. You know, if we get into a market where like the entries just don't come up at all, then we might just swap out one of the strategies. I'm gonna keep it to like 2 strategies though. But for the most part, I don't think there's any entries here anyways to begin with. So I'm looking over here, there's just no entries anyways. So it's not the fact that the strategies that I chose are not coming up. It's just the market here isn't providing any entries right now. Yeah, because I'm trying to see if there was some market flow V2 entries here. Doesn't really look like there was anything here either. Yeah, there's no market flow entries here. I mean, there's probably one that happened like maybe right here. But this is only like 10 points. So like there's a market flow entry that came up right here. Actually, it's a 30-point move. So there's one market flow V2 that came up right here. I don't know if anybody decided to look at it or even thought about catching it. But we had a bullish trend here. Buy signal, price pushed up, retraced right here. The whole number was at the 300. So 43,300, the pending buy limit would have been right here. Yeah, technically it would have hit a 1-to-1. That's the only strategy that I would have seen come up today. Other than that, I don't really see anything else. Unless you saw a momentum pullback scalp, which is pretty much the same strategy. I guess technically you've taken it right here, but there was news around that area. All right, so we have, let's see, the only entry that I can see setting up here would be a possible momentum reversal. So looking at this here, and Sam said, would love a V1 right now. Yeah, a V1 would be nice too. For me, ideally, I'm looking for a V1 off structure. There's no structure here, so for me personally, I probably wouldn't be looking for a V1. I would be looking for a possible momentum reversal though. So what I need to see here is I need to see an inside candle. I need price to kind of climb back up a little bit and then provide me an inside candle. If the buy signal here comes up, it's kind of going to invalidate it because you need to have a sell signal with a pending buy signal. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens here. Maybe it'll come up on this next candle. The only problem as well is that we're here at the news price. So I would want price to kind of push up a little bit higher so I can have the entry around here. Like I would like the entry around this middle area. I don't want to have it at the news price. So if you guys are familiar with the red flags, of course, I don't trade at any of these horizontal lines. So any of these dotted lines that go from left to right, you can see there's a pink line right here. This is news price. I avoid trades at that point. Blue price right here, this blue dotted line, this is opening price. Pink over here, this is news price again. Purple, that's the Asia high low. Green, that's the New York high low. And if you go any lower, the red is going to be the London high low. So any of these lines here that go left to right that are dotted, those are considered red flags for me specifically. I don't take any trades around those areas. So in order for me to take any of these scalps here, I need price to really push away from here. So I need price to climb up a little bit, retrace, and then go there. I'll take my entry around there, but I'm not going to take it down here. But you guys can see how price is getting manipulated around this area. I don't want to get caught in that manipulation. So turn the liquidity back on. I mean, it's just a sideways market right now. There's not really much going on. Here's a clean chart. You can see price is just sitting at this whole number right here. Whole number is at the 250. Price just going back and forth between that area. Let's see, Sam said he's in the V1 thinking of cutting out. Where'd you get the V1 at? Let me see. I was looking for a V1 too, but I didn't see any, or you're at this one right here, right? That's a handle. Yeah, it's kind of a tricky V1, or actually, no, you're right. It lines up. Yeah, that is a V1 pattern. V1 pattern slash V1 variation. Yeah, there's a pending buy signal there. It's kind of tricky though, because it's right at the news price. That's why I would have avoided it. I think long-term price will probably push up, but I think because it's right here at the news price, that's what makes it tricky. So if you guys remember earlier this morning, I told you guys be careful about price climbing up higher, right? Because I mean the main reason I would have been kind of worried about taking any buys there was because all the news events for today, like the high impact news event at 6:45, that was negative, but price never came down. And then again, right here at 7 o'clock, this is also negative. So I'd be kind of wary about taking trades around those areas. So look at this right here, the pink line. This was the first news event at 6:45. This was negative, but price pushed up. And then again, right here at 7 o'clock, the news came up right here too, and then it was also negative, but price came up further. So you can see here, price is starting to react to the news event. It's having a late reaction. So see how prices come back down to the opening, to the news price. And then ideally, it would come back down to the news price down here, right? Because that's kind of where price was supposed to be this morning. But I mean, who knows? I can't be it's hard to tell because the market here isn't really respecting a lot of the things that you would follow. It's not respecting fundamentals, following the news, it's not respecting direction of trend. It's not respecting a lot of things. So it's just one of those days where I think it's probably best to just wait for the entry to come to you. I'm not forcing any entries. I'm just waiting for this to come to me, obviously. Sam, pull that break even. I'd probably do the same thing, Sam. You can see there's no direction here. Price is still going sideways. Price is going sideways, and there's just no direction of price here. $7.27, we got about 30 minutes till 8. You can see here there's just nothing going on. Price is going sideways. I would need some volatility here. Let's see, Aim is asking, can you share GBP USD? So I'm not going to look at GBP USD right now because we're trading live. Obviously I'm trading YM, so I'm not going to flip over to GU. I can look at it later. If you're still here at the end of the session, just remind me and I'll take a look at it and I can analyze it for you. But right now I'm trading this live, so I'm not going to switch to any other assets at this specific moment. Aim is asking, are you looking for a buy? Right now I currently am because the trend right now is bullish. So you can see over here the trend is currently bullish with price slightly above the pivots. The trend meter down below is also green. So we're currently in a bullish trend. I'm a trend trader, so I usually trade in the direction of the trend. There's a V1 variation right here also setting up another one. I know, Sam, right? That's what I was talking about earlier. So see how price gets manipulated around the news price right here? This is why I typically don't mess around news price. Because this could have really gone either way. Sam here was in a V1 variation from right here. So he was in a V1 variation from this double body right here. He got invalidated, but it was still right there. He pulled out for break even. And then there's another double body rejection right here. It just wasn't off structure. So there's a double body rejection right there. This indicated that price is likely to flip back up. So I started to kind of anticipate the flip back up because you can see the inside candles right here. There's no wick on the top end, but this would have been the setup that I was looking for. So for the momentum reversal, we had price kind of coming down. We had the sell signal, pending buy signal. This is an inside bar. So this would have been an indecisive candle, and if price would have filled it, it would have pushed all the way back up. But it's all good. I'm sticking to my game plan, guys. Again, no red flags. I'm looking for only two specific entries here. Two specific normal entries. So two specific entries that I'm looking at on average. If I see the other entries come up, then obviously I'll look for the entry. But right now, there's only two that typically come up more often. Now that I'm looking at it, this here would have been a momentum reversal V2. Okay, so like I said, if I see the entry come up, I will show you an example of it. So this right here for a momentum reversal V2, basically what you're looking for is you're looking for price to, so price is bullish here with regards to the trend, right? So we're obviously looking for buys here from this area. And I'll just replay this real quick. So this is an example of a momentum reversal V2. I haven't been able to show you guys this because it doesn't come up very often. I wouldn't have taken it because it was at the red flag. But this here is a setup of a, actually, no, sorry, as I take that back, it's not. The inside bar was below here, but this is kind of what you're looking for when you're looking for the momentum reversal too. You're looking for a big, strong candle. So say we have a, we're looking for a buy here. We have a sell momentum, pending buy momentum. We have a strong red candle, and then you're looking for an inside candle, but like a weak one. So you're looking for a weak one like this, and then the pending stop would have, or pending buy limit would have been right here. But yeah, I take it back. This isn't the entry because this isn't an inside bar. If I ever see one, I'll show you guys. But like I said, these are probably not going to come up very often. You're mainly going to see V1 variations and momentum reversals. The V2 variation, V3 variation, this is a 2-bar reversal and a 3-bar reversal. It doesn't come up very often unless there's like a very directional market. And then same with momentum reversal V2. Probably not going to see it very often. But when we do see it, I will call it out so that you guys are familiar with what to look for. It's just not a good area. So price again is right back to the news price. I mean, I can't take any trades here. Even if we get a setup here, I wouldn't be able to take it because it's right at the sessions, or not the sessions, right at the news price. Which, I mean, is just as bad as the sessions for the most part. Christian. So I wouldn't use this inside bar indicator for your actual entries. I would only use it for back testing. If you look up inside bar, it's gonna be like the first one. I'm gonna create one of our own that's gonna be a little more accurate. Same with the liquidity indicator that I created here. I'll create an inside bar that's specific for like what we're looking for here. Because what I notice with it is that it'll come up sometimes and it'll like, or sometimes it'll mark up the inside bar, which isn't actually an inside bar. But yeah, if you look it up, it's gonna be like the first one. So inside bar. It's right there by CMA. It's good. I mean, yeah, I think it's good for testing. Like if you're gonna back test, it's perfect. That's how I tested the strategy. I basically just have this up because I can see where the bars are coming up. But I don't think it's good for like live. Like if you're looking at it during a live market, you might get like it might show up and then it's going to actually not be an inside bar. So just make sure that you're actually looking for yourself. So even though you see the little marker on there, like I'm looking at the marker just to look at the chart, but when I see the marker on there, I'm actually checking to see if it's actually inside. Because it'll, I mean, all indicators are going to have some issues, right? There's always going to be some errors with indicators. And that's why I always double check it myself to be sure. Like, for example, see how there was like right here, there was a inside bar, but it was actually not inside because the price opened below it already. See, main set, are we looking for buys or sells? If V3 came up, it didn't hit whatsoever. So I'm looking for buys here right now. So that V3 that you were looking at, it was at the news price right here, man. That's why I wouldn't mess with any trades around this area. See how these two bars are the setup for the breakout V3? The buy signal right here was touching the news price, which is that pink line. So yeah, that's a breakout V3, but it's not one that I would take because it's still one of the red flags. I'm looking for a price to push away from this area. I can't have any of the candles touching or being near any of these red flags here. So let me just go over here real quick. I'll turn off the liquidity real quick. So another reminder to you guys for the red flags, they're basically any of these horizontal lines. So this pink line is news price, this blue line is opening price, this pink line is news price, this purple line is the Asia high low, this green line is the New York high low, and this red line right here is the London high low. So the solid lines are okay. This is liquidity. So the solid lines are okay, but the dotted lines, I don't take any trades that are touching it or if your TP has to touch it. So like Jermaine over here, he mentioned the breakout V3 came up, but you can see it's a 2 candle pattern. And the first one over here was touching the news price. So I personally wouldn't have messed with it. And that's just sticking to my game plan. You guys can take them, but for me personally, you can see how the manipulation happened right here. And that's just, this is a clear example of like why you avoid the red flags. See how price is just, it's like a magnet. It just pulls back to this pink line right here. Price push below it, try to go below it, pull back above it, pull back below it, push back above it. It's just going back and forth between the news price right here. So for me personally, I would just avoid trades here in general. In order for me to take some buys, I need price to really push out of this area, retrace. And I'll take the entry from like right there. Or then vice versa, if price comes down below, I'm gonna look for some sells. I'll look for a setup right there. Right. I just need price to be away from this specific area right now. All right, so we got a sell signal right here. The only problem is that we again are at the pink line news price. All right. So this is another setup right here, Jermaine. Same thing, another breakout V3 continuation. The only problem again is that it's touching the news price. So if this here starts to shift to a sell, this can be a possible entry, but like I said, I would avoid it because news price right there. Like if you were to get a breakout V3 like down here, then perfect. Or if you get a breakout V3 up here, then perfect. But I wouldn't mess with anything that's touching the red flag right there. At this point, there's no direction now, guys. So I'm not looking for a buy or a sell. You can see prices in between. So there's no price isn't consistently above or below the pivots. Price is just going sideways right here. If you look at the trend meter below, it's currently blue. This indicates that we're currently in a neutral trend. Also, the ATR right here is starting to get a little low. So just a lot of things here to keep in mind. Sam said, give me a V1 LO. I mean, this could be a V1 right here, Sam. Again, it's going to be at a red flag. I mean, if you want to take it, feel free, but it's going to have to cut through this pink line right here. The V1 variation is coming up though. If this candle closes green, guys, this is going to be a V1 variation pattern. I'm not going to take it because it's right at the sessions. There goes that V1 pattern right there. Not in this position, guys. It's marking it for Sam right there. All right. Not really expecting too much to happen here, guys. I mean, let's go to our clean chart. You can see here that price is just going back and forth between this whole number. So the whole number right here is 43,250. Price pretty much just going sideways right there. Back and forth, back and forth. See, Yoon is asking why buy? Because the trend here hasn't shifted yet. So the trend here was bullish. It went into neutral. So if there's a correction, the trend is still bullish. See how price was up here? It went into neutral. It never shifted to a bearish trend. So because it hasn't shifted to a bearish trend, the you lean towards the direction for correction, right? Which is a buy. That's why it would be a buy here. Because the trend is still bullish. If price came down below here, then it would be a sell. But because price has never came down this far, it would still be in a bullish direction. I still wouldn't take this trade though. So like I said earlier, guys, I wouldn't take the trade because it's right at the sessions right there. I mean, not the sessions. I keep calling it sessions, but basically it's a red flag. I'll just call it red flag. So basically, I'm not taking any trades that are around this middle area right here, where this pink line is. Where any of these lines go left to right, I don't take any trades around this area. See how price gets manipulated right there? Like, there's so many examples here of like why I don't trade at this specific line, right? So you can see this whole area. Let me just box it up real quick. So looking at this whole space right here, see how price came into this where this pink line is? Every time price comes to it, it acts like a magnet, right? Price will come below, it'll push back up, comes above, it pushes back down, comes below, pushes right back up. It's basically consolidating within this manipulated area. So this whole area right here is just an area of manipulation. That's why I don't trade around this area. In order for me to trade, I need price to push above here. And I'll take stuff that's up here, or vice versa. I'll take stuff that's down here. So if the trend becomes bullish, then I would go up here. But if price becomes bearish, that's fine. I'll just look for trades down here. Right? But I'm not going to trade right here in the middle. Because right here in the middle is considered a manipulated area. All right, clean that back up. Yeah, Brock said it's still bullish. Sam said he took it and he's out. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing here, Sam, is like there's no direction. So I think the V1 variations are very tricky. You can catch the bounces, so you can catch the tops and bottoms. See how the V1 variations come up? Like, let me go back and draw that box here. So the thing is, you can still trade V1 variations within the range. So this is the current range right now, range consolidation. There's a couple of V1 variations that came up. So the first one that Sam caught was down here. He got out of break even. There's another one right here. Could have got in for, you could, like, if you want to scalp the range, you can just get in for like a quick 10 points, right? 10 or 20 points. That's like a 20-point move right there. There's another V1 variation right here. You could have caught that for a quick 20 points. There's another V1 variation right here, right? You could have caught that right there for a sell, 20 points. Another V1 variation right here. and you catch them for like 10 or 20 points. Like if you want to trade risky, you can trade risky and you can get like 10 or 20 points, but there's basically four V1 variations that came up right here. There's one right there, one right there, one right there, one right there. For me personally, I don't trade that way, right? I don't want to trade something that's too risky. I want to trade something where I have a high probability of winning. And this, for me specifically, I just don't see anything here for me to take. I'm not going to force any trades. It is NFP week and it is Friday. I mean, not Friday, it's Monday. So Mondays and Fridays are typically the more riskier days to trade because you have a lot of people re-entering the market from the weekend. And then Friday, you have a lot of people exiting the market for the weekend. So you get a lot of like volatility on open and on close. Yeah, Samson just felt wrong after you warned me about news price. Caught it at 1440 for 50 points. Also, it's too late, no momentum. Yeah, I agree with you. Ing's asking at 12, we'll have more volume, question mark. I'm not sure what time zone you're in, Ing. I'm on California time, so it's currently 7:46 right now. Well, I expect there to be more volume, like past 9 o'clock. So right now, currently, let's see, I'll mark this up to show you the time, like how market is open. So market open right here at 6:30. Usually the volume is like high between 6:30 and 7. So like between here and 7 o'clock, this is where the volume is pretty decently high. And this is where we take our trades most of the time. And then the market starts to get flat between 7 and 8 o'clock. So it gets a little flat between this time period. And then there'll be a little bit of a more flat period until like about 9. So I'm not sure what time zone you're in, but the volume will usually pick up around 9 o'clock. So in an hour, 1 hour from now, the volume will typically pick up and then you'll get that mid-market movement. So it'll probably pick up between 9 and about 12. And then at 12, this is about an hour before market closes. Between 12 and 12:30, you'll get power hour, or basically 12 to 1. You get about power hour, the last hour of market trading. And then obviously the market closes here at 1 o'clock. So I'm not sure what 12 o'clock is for you, but basically an hour from now, you should probably expect more volume in the market. This is market open at 6:30. You can see there's a lot of volume right here. Then the volume starts to flatten out. It gets a little flat right here, just consolidates, and then it picks back up for mid-market right here around 9 o'clock. This is when people come back from lunch. And then power hour here between 12 and 1. And that's pretty much a whole market day. So you said 12, so I'm assuming you're like on Eastern time, on Pacific time. So let's see, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So if you're Eastern time, then yeah, it's gonna be around like 12 o'clock your time. Basically 2 hours from now, whatever time you're at currently right now, in about 2 hours, you'll probably see more volume in the market. Because we have the opening session and then we have you can see right here, it's pretty flat. It's still staying around that 250 mark. Go to our main chart. All right, guys, it's getting closer to 8 o'clock. I think I might wrap this up pretty soon. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. And do you still want me to check out GU? So if you want me to check out GBP USD, just let me know. Also, let me know what time frame or what type of style are you looking for. So are you looking for a day trading setup? Are you looking for a swing setup? Are you looking for overall setup? I can analyze GU in a lot of different ways. So depending on what you're looking for, I can analyze it for you. I can just pull it up for you right now. So let's see. Let's go to this chart. I was trying to short Carvana, and there's some news about Carvana, how they're going to go bankrupt. I mean, I think they already filed for bankruptcy, but I was looking to short Carvana. But I have this on my chart. Let's pull up GBP USD. So GBP USD is right here. There's an inside bar entry right here, actually. So the same strategy that I was talking about earlier, guys, the momentum reversal, you can apply the strategy on like different assets as well. Like for example, over here, there's currently a buy entry. There's a sell signal that came up. I mean, you probably wouldn't want to take the sell signal, or you probably want to go the opposite in the direction of trend. But let's just clean this up a little bit. Let me take off a lot of this stuff. Okay, you're looking for a scalping setup. So you're looking for a scalp setup here for GU. Let's go down to the 4-hour first. Here, let's take a look at the overall direction of GU first. So let's go over here. All right, so looking at GU for today, AIM. So looking at the 4-hour, it's currently bearish, but it's switching to bullish. The 1-hour is currently bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 10-minute is bullish, 5-minute is bearish, and the 1 minute over here is bearish as well. So looking at this so far, I would probably look for, depending on what time frame you're trading on, if you're trading on the 10-minute or higher, I'd probably look for a buy here. It looks like price is currently bouncing off the pivot right there, and it's pushing back up. So let's go back to the chart. Now that I've showed you the overall direction of price, usually if I'm looking to trade something, I'm going to look at the overall direction first. So I'll look at the higher time frames. So we have the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10-minute up here. These are the shorter time frames. Then we have the higher time frames, 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour. Looking over here on the higher time frames, it's for the most part slightly bullish, and cutting into the 10-minute right here, it's a little bullish as well. So let's go over here to GU. Let's go down to the 10-minute time frame. So looking at this here, it looks like prices intending to bounce off. This is actually a V1 variation setup. So yeah, if you're looking for a scalp setup here for GU, if this here closes with a double body rejection, this could be a possible entry. There's actually another V1 variation that's setting up right here. So see how we have the sell signal, price came down. We have the double body rejection right here. So you got the double body rejection right there. There's a V1 variation that's set up right there. So, if you're going in the direction of the trend, this is a V1 variation. The ATR is currently about 15, so you probably would do a 15. Looks like this already would have hit TP if you're doing a 1-to-1. So this right there, I would base it off the ATR. The ATR is currently 15.1. So if you want to go higher, you can. If you want to do a 1-to-2, you can do a 1-to-30 or 15-30. So this trade's still running if you wanted to get into this position. I would set your trailing stops at 15-15. So this would be a 1-to-1 entry right there. But if you did a 1-to-2, it would still be running. There's another same setup right here again. So the same setup, currently price is in a bullish trend. You can see right here that price, the trend meter taken off. Let me put the trend meter back on. So you guys can see that the strategies, they work pretty much on all assets. You don't have to trade YM. If you want to trade something else like forex, you can trade forex. So you can see prices above the pivots, the trend meter is green, the pivots are slightly angling up. This indicates that price is currently in a bullish trend, right? So since price is in a bullish trend right here, you're mainly going to be looking for some buys. Looking at this right here at the current moment, you can see there's any inside bars here. So there's a couple different setups here. There's a momentum reversal. So we had a big red candle right here. This candle was inside. So you could have put a buy limit at this high point right here. And this trade's still running. So there's like 3 trades running in one right here. You have a momentum reversal. You have a V1 variation right here. And it's currently still running as well. And then you have another V1 variation setting up right here. So looking at this right here, you can see there's another double body rejection. Same with this one right here. It's the same pattern. You're just looking for that double body rejection. And with that right there, you can possibly catch another V1 variation right here. So like I said earlier, the strategies, they work the same across the board. It doesn't matter what asset you're trading. You can be trading forex, GBP, USD. You can be trading, YM with us here. The strategies still work It's the same thing. It's just you trade them on different time frames, right? You probably can't trade 1 minute on GU because it's so slow. That's why I stopped trading forex, because it's just too slow for me. But if you want to trade it on something like NQ, GC, which is also gold, it'll work out. So yeah, if you're looking to take a trade here for GBP I would probably look for some buys. You have a possible buy setup right here. As long as this candle closes green, it's going to be a V1 variation, and then you can take this here for a buy. So this candle closes in about 4 minutes. When this candle closes, see if this candle is green. If you get that double body rejection right there, you can take it for a buy. I would set your TP stop loss to 15.15, and then if you want to go for a bigger target, you can do 15.30. So you can do 15.30, but then you can have your trailing stop at 15. So you guarantee profits at 15, price pushes up, guaranteed profits, and then go for that full move, 1 to 2. But all right, yeah, there goes a quick little analysis of GU right there. If anybody's still trading forex, I haven't traded forex in a long time, but you can see the analysis here. It still works. I mean, it works perfectly fine. It's like nothing here has really changed. It's just very slow. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up for the day. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. If you want me to analyze anything else, feel free to hop into the chat. I can analyze anything, guys. I've been trading for a long time. I can analyze stocks. I can analyze forex. I can analyze gold. I can analyze whatever you want me to analyze. But I just don't see any entries here for myself. Looks like Sam's done for the day too. Sorry, Sam. Yeah, no problem. And good profits on those quick scalps you took today. Like I said earlier, guys, price is kind of just sitting right here at the news price, so there's no opportunity for me to take any entries. In order for me to take anything here, I need to have a retracement signal. It's currently 7:56 right now, so we have about 4 minutes until 8. The problem with this here is that we don't have enough time for me to get that retracement and correction back up, right? Because my cutoff for trading is a hard 8 o'clock. Once 8 o'clock hits, I'm done trading, whether I take a trade or not. Looking at our entries for today, unfortunately, we got caught in this whipsaw movement here for the breakout. So unfortunately, the breakout did not hit for us. It came up and did exactly what we were expecting, but it didn't happen right here on open. So market open right here went sideways for a pretty good moment, came down, stopped us out, and then it shot all the way back up to our TP, which is okay. We understand that this is what happens in the market sometimes, and you just have to eat that loss and move on with it. For the scalps here, I just didn't have any scalps that came up. I was hoping to get some momentum reversals or a V1 variation. But you can see the market here has been pretty choppy. I'm sticking to my game plan here. Again, I'm sticking to these main strategies, main contract size, main risk to reward, 1 to 2 with a trailing stop, profit loss limit and profit goal limit, and then my trading window. So I'm going to keep showing you guys, if you guys can stay consistent, with the trading plan, if you don't have a trading plan and you just want to follow mine, feel free to follow mine. I'm going to do this every day for this year. I'm going to show you guys that you can be consistently profitable if you just stick to your game plan long term. Yeah, other than that, I think that's about it. Let's see. Nice. Yeah, Ang said GBP just TP'd by your strategy. Yeah, there's a lot of different strategies here that you can follow. This is the V1 variation. So like going back to my plan over here, Ang, that's going to be the first one right here, V1 variation. See, this one over here is actually a perfect entry because it was bouncing off the liquidity too. It was not only bouncing off like specific zone, it's also bouncing off the liquidity. If you want to go on the 1 minute, so on the 1 minute over here, you can see even more entries. Okay. So like same thing again, if you were looking for the entry here, another setup. So it doesn't matter what time frame you want to trade on. If you want to trade on the 1 minute, you can. If you want to trade on the 5 minute, you can see the same setup right there. 10 minute, same setup, etc. So, all right, guys, it's about to be 8 o'clock. I think this is going to be about it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll be back here again, same place, same time tomorrow. Again, if you guys want to learn these strategies, you can learn these strategies for free on the website. So just sign up to the website. This is what the course would look like. You won't have access to the indicators, but you'll have access to every strategy here. So if you guys want to be familiar with the strategies that we're applying, you can do 2 things. You can either go to the website, it's kodikaitrades.com, click onto your free access right here. So you can click on this, get your free access. And then you can have access to all of the strategies right here. This is what the course looks like. Every module here has a video. So every single thing that you look at here, there's a video explaining exactly what it is, how it works. It explains all the strategies, all the tools, all the indicators. If you don't want to sign up for anything and you just want to look at the YouTube, you can go to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is youtube.com/Kodi Kai Trades. And then if you want to learn the strategy of the momentum reversal, just go right here. Go to videos, and it's going to be the first video with a red thumbnail. It says Kodi Kai Trades Momentum Reversal Strategy. And this is available to everybody. So I'm not really mentoring anybody one-on-one right now, guys. I'm mainly focused on the hedge fund. So for the most part, if you want to learn, you can self-learn. But I'll probably be mentoring again, maybe sometime in the future, over the next couple of months, once I've got the hedge fund pretty much all up and running completely. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back.